Breaking news now. The Irish Prime Minister is to issue a formal apology after a report published in the last few minutes detailed the sheer scale of abuse that took place at mother and baby homes in Ireland over a 75-year period. The 5-year investigation was prompted by the discovery of a mass grave of babies and children in County Galway. Our Ireland correspondent Stephen Murphy joins me now. This is a long-awaited, long-overdue report, many argue. Talk us through some of its findings, Stephen.
Yeah, sure. It's a report, as you mentioned, that has literally just been published in the last few minutes on the Irish government website. It's around 3,000 pages long, so we're just skimming through it at the moment. But I mean, some of the findings and some of the language contained in this report is pretty damning stuff. It describes in Ireland, it calls a cold, harsh environment for many, but particularly cold and harsh for women. All women in Ireland suffered serious discrimination, and women who gave birth outside marriage were subject to what it calls particularly harsh treatment. Many of these women went into the 18 institutions covered by this report over many decades. They were forced under pressure from family, societal factors, and of course the influence of the Catholic Church to give birth to babies within these so-called mother and baby homes. They were then separated from those children, and those children were often given out for adoption or fostering elsewhere, sometimes as far away as the United States. Many of those children never saw their families, never saw their biological parents again. The report goes on to say, however, that there's no evidence that women were forced to enter these homes by the church or state authorities, and I know for a fact that many of the survivors will vehemently dispute that. We have heard stories over the last day or two of the local parish priest coming to a home in the 1940s or the 1950s and telling the family that the daughter of the family, a young pregnant but unmarried woman, was causing a scandal. One described how his mother had been bicycled on the crossbars of a bike at 7 months pregnant, 10 to 12 miles to enter one of these homes, and then the baby, once it was born, was taken away from her, never to be seen again. That's what you're dealing with in this report. Now, I think the headline figure is the death toll. The report confirms that 9,000 Irish children died in these homes during the period studied. At times, that was twice the national average mortality rate. As you mentioned there, this commission was set up after groundbreaking work done by the historian Catherine Corliss at the site of a home in Tuam in County Galway in the west of the country. We caught up with her there a bit earlier and asked her why so many children died.
I believe that with a bit of hygiene and with a bit of care, quite a number of babies could be saved. But it seems they were just lumped in together. A disease went rampant from one to the other. And the bottom cause, from my research, I can see neglect, big-time neglect, and not caring. And you can see the lack of care when they gave them no funeral, no proper burial. So it screams of just pure neglect.
There have been several interim reports by this commission, so we had an inkling of what was contained, but there's no doubt the findings and the language in this 3,000-page report is sure to be shocking to many as the details emerge over the coming minutes and hours. We're just about to have a press briefing here at government buildings in Dublin from the Taoiseach, the Irish Prime Minister, Micheál Martin, to hear more details of the state's response, but it is expected he will issue a formal state apology when the Dáil, the Irish Parliament, returns tomorrow. But for now, there's no doubt this is another grim recap of a dark chapter in modern Irish society.